Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com and I just got paired up playing a 5-0 game. Okay, d4, c4. And I'll welcome a Nimzo-Indian. Let's play a classical. See how black reacts. c5, d5, castles, something else. c5. Okay. Let's just develop a knight. Not sure what I want to do with my e-pawn just yet. Okay, I think I have to take now. I can't push. They could take twice. My knight's still in the pin. So, what are we going to do with the e-pawn? Probably e3. I could go e4. That feels a little bit too vulnerable. f2 and the d4 square. So, I don't think knight to b4 is too much of a bother. Could consider a3, b4, but I'm more so focused on making sure I'm at least one step away from castling. I would have expected them to play d5 a little bit sooner, so now I'm kind of happy that they didn't go with d5. Now it's a little bit difficult to get in. Okay, well, where's my dark square bishop going to go? I'm abandoning this idea now to go a3, b4. It's going to go with the fianchetto. And now knight here, I think right now is a good idea. Pressure on f6 and do so before the bishop gets on b7. And my queen won't be as vulnerable on e4. So I think this is a timely way, a timely move to unmask my dark square bishop. Bishop b7. My queen might be able to find some residence on this square. Let's try that. Threatening mate. Okay, that's a serious gap right there. I could look to take advantage of that maybe. Bishop to d3. Yeah, let's start with bishop to d3. Potentially in a fork, but I don't see how that really pans out. I could still go with bishop here. I think I will. On f5, I have a timely check on d5. They played that really fast. My bishops are killers, aren't they? Actually, yeah, they're in a pin now. So, where to go with my queen? Where will she be most annoying? This might be something that will annoy my opponent. Potential sacrifices on this square. They're having none of that. Suppose I go knight to g5. That seems like a sensitive point. Let's jump right in. They're playing fast. I've got to try to keep up. I like my bishop position. I like my king position. Safer king. Ideally, I'd like to keep the queens on, but who knows. Okay. So, I could win a pawn. Bishop takes, queen takes has to hit. Otherwise, I jump in here. So I get the d6 pawn. My only concern is that my queen has some defensive responsibility, but I don't think she could really be chased away. So we're going to scoop up d6, and this should be collapsing for black. Ready to double. That move I didn't see. That's what I overlooked. Okay, we're taking somebody out. He's not going into the knight quietly. In fact, that's just a winning move, isn't it? Because now bishop takes pawn. King takes, I have f4. Okay, so this is, I'm winning now a second pawn, and I will be getting the exchange back with queen takes or bishop takes. I'm just considering which of the two is better. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, so I just want to do this as clean as possible. I guess we'll just go with the queen. Yep. And I will soon have control over the only open file as well. Yeah, this is busted for black. I have to play h6. I'm not going to release this pin. Well, if knight to c6, maybe I just go straight in for it. I could win a third pawn. Bishop takes and then knight takes. I would like to gain control over the only open file. Chop. Alright, I'm gonna take. And I'm not gonna go forward with taking that pawn. I want to just make sure I keep the rook under control. And this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna inch my king over. This is the idea with knight to f3. I want to limit the counterplay. So we're gonna sneak in here now. That knight shouldn't be too much of a bother. I have a nice square that I could post up on. In fact, I think I like I think I like going here right away. And this knight is, you have to play a6 to save the knight. Okay, that knight is dead, isn't he? They should be resigning after this move. He's a cooked knight. Down 2 pawns. Let's see. Yeah, they just resigned. I don't know. I think I made some timely middle game moves. It was a bit of a brief game. A 32 mover, but what to add with this? I don't think they reacted well. I think they could have reacted a bit more energetically in the center. Like in reply to e3, maybe do without castle and strike immediately with d5, and then takes, bishop is free, and I have to be concerned about a d4 push. Maybe they could take advantage of my queen position, but they went with some natural stuff, and so the end result is that because they didn't get in d5 in what I feel is a timely way, it's kind of difficult to get in now. So, and the other point is that unmasking my bishop before the bishop is here, observing e4 allows a nice transfer, just comparing the queen positions. It's already starting to become quite difficult for black. I mean, you don't want to play this and create holes on the king side, and, well, the game move, this is not without its weaknesses. I felt that they played maybe a little bit too fast here after I went for this maneuver. Maybe thinking f5 was winning something, but this is pretty killer. And my heart kind of skipped a beat at this moment here with queen double attack against the knight and rook, but I'm up a pawn right now, and I'm picking up this super valuable dark square bishop. Soon as this e5 move is in and f5, there's just a great number of dark square weaknesses around the camp, so there's no way he's only worth 3 in this position. He's an absolute killer. And just win 2 pawns. And I think maybe the only instructive moment is right around here. Well, I don't know about that, but I don't know. I just didn't want to take a third. Well, I guess I could have. I could have captured here, done something like this, takes, played here, and then came back to defend d2. But okay. I was content, I guess, with just being up 2 pawns there, and I wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be any kind of counterplay on my second rank. So I could have taken that pawn with check and returned in time. Okay, let's just dive right in with the engine and see what we could maybe take away from the opening stage. Alrighty, this is where I want to be. So, a Nimzo-Indian classical with queen to c2. I don't have much experience on the white end playing this. Okay, they go with c5 as mentioned. There's some other options, d5 being one of the others. They developed, and yeah, I think I just have to take here. They're considering e3. On e3, I think I could end up with an isolated pawn, and I don't know if I'm really so much of a fan. You know, something like this. I mean, you could go for it, but it's just a matter of taste. I didn't want to enter an isolated queen pawn position. I like playing against an isolated pawn more so than I do possessing an isolated pawn. But okay. I just took on c5 and went with e3. So at this point I said that this didn't feel right because of f2 and d4 being available to these two pieces, and in fact knight to g4 would have already hurt me. So yeah, e3, a bit more conservative looking, but it's important to neutralize this bishop. Hold this structure and you're combating the dark square bishop well. So it suggests d5 right here. Yeah, or castles, but yeah, it likes immediately taking action in the center. Bishop to e2, a6, it felt a little bit slow. Castles, and it already likes me by a little bit, suggesting d5 again. Queen to e7 now. But yeah, this retreat was maybe just too slow here. Rook to d1. Where did it really go completely downhill? I'm just getting on with development. b3 and a3. I was content with just b3, bishop to b2. I'm now just a move away. And they're a bit backward with the development. Still need to open a door and move the bishop. And yeah, I mean, I like my, if we do a, let's say, queen-bishop comparison, I mean, they're soon going to be on this diagonal, but notice their knight was in the bishop's way. His next move was to retreat and defend against some kind of a fork threat that I had on e6. So b6, and now, oh, I even have a knight to d5 move. Ah, that's right. Queen's unprotected. I have this idea to open up the position, and in the end, what do we have? This d6 pawn's really weak. Okay, I should have been on the lookout for this. I'm more used to seeing this kind of a tactic, I guess, when it's the rook that's maybe opposite the queen, but hey, queen being opposite the queen here, there is a way to take advantage of that unprotected piece. Okay, his knight to d5 was better. I went with knight to e4. Still holds it as equal. Okay, knight to d5. Noted. And now f5, they just developed. And I think it becomes a bit tricky right around here. No? Queen to g4. e5. Is that the top move after queen to g4? I mean, how many other options do they have here? I probably would have gone with e5 as well. This seems too scary. Two giant gaps. Oh, they have knight to e5. Ah, knight to e5 to interfere with the mate threat. And at least there isn't a weakness on the d5 square anymore. Well, black wouldn't be creating a weakness on d5, so that would have been a better defense. Don't budge with the pawns, knight to e5 instead. And now I went with bishop to e4. Knight to b4 it wants to go with. Yeah, this just seemed far too weakening. Is it okay with bishop to e4? Yeah, it's okay with this, and I think this is just playing into my hands. These guys are monsters. Yeah. King to g7. It's not fun. You're going to be in one of these two bishops will be pinning you in some way. Queen g3. So I think my opponent played so fast at this point with bishop to f6. I didn't really get to voice what I may have been threatening here. On knight to a5, I have a shot on knight takes e5. That's why I dropped my queen back to g3 to converge on e5. I'm now striking at it a third time. So, bishop f6. And yeah, it likes knight to g5. Played that. Just keying in on e6, and I guess they're just gone after this next move. Yeah, It's just a blunder. So I guess to hold the, what's the best resistance? They want to take out the knight. That's not fun. You give up the dark square bishop. This won't end well for black. Can't imagine it ending well with f4 right around the corner, white having the safer king. Yeah, there's no cost connected with anything that I've done here. Structure's fine, bishops are perfect. So if this is the best move, you know you're in trouble. Knight to d8, and I'm just winning out here. I should have seen this double attack idea, but I guess right around this point it's okay to know that I can at least pick up one of the minor pieces, and, well, he's super valuable. I took him out. I could have also doubled up, apparently. That's considered better, and on bishop takes knight. I guess I'm crashing through. Oh, I have rook to d7, that's right. So that was another approach to double up and threaten this, but this seemed pretty clean too. Yeah, and I don't think that there's anything more to really look at. Just some opening points they didn't get in the d5 move. And towards the end here, I should be grabbing here, and then knight g5 back to f3. There's nothing wrong with doing that. This here, and in the end I'm up 3 pawns. Sneak the king over and welcome, bring on the trades. It's a 1 king and pawn endgame. So, yeah, it's just gone from this point. I didn't take the pawn. Brought the king over, still holding his +2. King e2, and yeah, nothing's missed from here. They're just throwing some pawns my way, and now the knight's cooked. Okay, well, a bit of a brief game out of the Nimzo-Indian Classical. But as usual, feel free to leave any feedback to this video in the comments section below. Hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you soon. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.